My name is Angus McKay. I'm a director at UNITAR, and I look after the bit of UNITAR that deals with the environment, so the planet pillar, if you like, of the work that we do. I think my career is very much a set of random decisions, really. But I always had at my core, I always had an understanding that the environment is our present and our future, and that we need to look after it. So I started as a young guy working with NGOs. I was lucky enough to work in Southern Africa, in Zambia with wildlife, and that was very inspiring. From there, I managed to get into consulting, which is what a lot of young people do, get into a consulting company, and the contract is you work incredibly hard, but you build your CV and you get to see the world and work on all sorts of things. Like I did an awful lot of things like environmental impact assessments of infrastructure projects in places like Cameroon or Benin or Siberia, all kinds of places. And each time I got a job, it reinforced in my mind one thing, and that is knowledge, understanding, learning. At the end of the day, these are the things that really persist. And if we can do a better job of communicating ideas, in the case of UNITAR, through the training, the quality of the training that we provide, then that is a huge driver of change, because at the end of the day, it's individuals who will change. It's not the UN system. We try to help countries, particularly LDCs and countries in special circumstances, to develop the skills and the knowledge that they need to take on the big global challenges. In my case, it's climate change, clearly, but also beyond climate change, looking at what kind of economies are we trying to build for the future, based on a better management of biodiversity, for example. I mean, the whole issue of COVID and the pandemic is essentially, we're learning, caused by the fact that we are encroaching in wilderness areas, and that is leading to risks, and this is only going to happen more and more. So we try to build understanding and consciousness, and beyond that, skills to manage these environmental challenges. The UN is many agencies, but it's also many teams. And I'd like to reach out to the managers of all of those thousands or tens of thousands of teams sitting in all around the world, working for UN agencies, and speak to them directly, speak to you directly and say, how do you make sure that every time your team goes to work or on a new project, that you do it in a fresh way, you rethink it. It inspires those you're trying to help, but it also inspires your team. So let's try to be creative all the time. That's one thing. I suppose a slightly more structured response would be to give an example of a very successful global program that I'm part of. It's called the Partnership for Action on Green Economy, PAGE. And right from the start, the idea was, let's bring together different UN agencies, let's program together, let's deliver as one in as many countries as possible to help countries to rethink their economies to become greener and fairer, which is very much what we're talking about today. So PAGE is wonderful because the funding is all pooled in one place, and it's shared out between the five agencies. We have a secretariat, and there's no fighting over that. There's a simple understanding that if we all work as one, we're going to deliver a better product, a better result to the countries in which we work. We're working in about 30 countries at the moment. I would like to see this way of working as becoming the normal way of working in the UN system.